Francis DeVito, age 94. And the shoe repair shop is just across the street. And the tracks came down here in downtown Trail and had some sheds here where Ferraro's store is now. As I say, the shoe repair shop was there. My dad built that building, built there on CPR property. So we had the first class view of everybody going away to the army or coming home. All of us kids whose parents had businesses, such as my dad's with the shoe repair, we all helped out. And I was in the shoe shop every day after school. No better experience in meeting people than to be in a small business and customers coming to you for advice and for help. We did that. Matthew is the fourth generation. Next to Matthew is his father, Vincent. And there's me, Francis, Vincent's father. And my father, Vincenzo, or Vincent, or James, who was the beginning of the trade in Trail. And Vincent came to me one day and he said he wanted to go into shoe repairing. And I said, well, that's a pretty tough way to make a living. If you're sure you want to do that, you can have this business. I was getting ready to retire, and he said, no, I want to go to Nelson.
April 1st, 1980, we rented a small place on Baker Street and opened up a DeVito Shoe Repair in Nelson. Vincent Charles DeVito, 56, third generation shoemaker. When we were first looking for a shoe store or place to rent in Nelson, we were walking down Baker Street, and my dad was a good friend of George Gleddy, who was on the 300 block of Baker with the Cootie Exchange. And George says, well, what about right across the street? And there was a little spot there where now exists the Snowpack store. We operated out of there for upwards of 15 years, and a good buddy of mine in town, Gord Eagleson, and I sort of talked about making an investment. And we bought this building in 1995, where we are now today. For the years we've been in Nelson, it's been a wonderful place. I mean, Nelson is unique in the world, I believe. I've been to a number of places in the world, and there's no place like Nelson to come home to. We have clean water and clean air, we have recreation, we have a diversified community, we have wonderful shopping. And my boys are living here in the Kootenays. I mean, how much more lucky can you be about that? So, Joel, my youngest son, also works in the shoe store, as my son Jonathan, the oldest son, does. Joey has his own career, and Jonathan has his own career. Matthew certainly is career-oriented toward the family business, and I'm happy to have him here. And I'm happy to be working with my boys. It's a wonderful legacy, and also from our family and Trail, I enjoyed every moment I spent with my granddad and my father, indeed. When Matthew started in the business, you know, I spent as much time as I could with him in the shoe repair itself, training and learning. A lot of this hands-on stuff you do and create on your own. There's always a way you learn to do stuff on your own. But he always had a good set of hands. He was a good shoemaker right from the beginning. He knew how to do things. He had abilities to do it, and it takes a good head and a good hands to put the two together. And yeah, he's done very well. So the fourth generation, you know, it's a very rare thing, I think, in any kind of business to have this kind of longevity. 88 years this year, 1926, my granddad started in Trail. My dad would suggest that I wasn't a better shoemaker than he, but I certainly was as good. And I can see Matthew certainly taking on those attributes.
There's one thing you got to know about having an Italian father and working with that Italian father is that no matter how good you do a job, he might say you did a good job, but he could always do it better. Matthew Vincent DeVito, age 25, fourth generation shoemaker. It's pretty cool seeing a lot of footwear coming out of this store and people in the community using it. Like, you know, the guy who's logging is buying his logging boots here. The butcher that's cutting your meat, he's wearing work boots from here. Or, you know, the lady that's serving, your waitress that's serving you dinner at night, she may be wearing footwear that came out of here. You know, or even the nurses at the hospital, the small business owner up the lake who might be driving a tractor, but you never know, he's probably wearing our footwear. And they're happy to wear it, and they know that they're representing a Not only a small business, but a pretty long line of DeVito's family tradition. It was pretty cool to actually help customers that my dad would have served, upwards of 30 years ago, and now I get the chance to deal with the same person. It's pretty special.
Been buying my boots from DeVitos for over 30 years. People go back there because of the great service DeVitos gives. It's a family tradition. This industry takes three things: tough men, tough saws, and damn tough boots. That's why we're Liebherr boots from DeVitos. Nothing like it. Yeehaw!